Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today's video we're going to have a quick lesson on basically the past tense and the perfect system. So let's have a look. Okay, so what do we mean by past perfect tense? How do we use it perfectly? Basically, the past perfect tense is very useful in writing. We used to show that an action occurred before another action in the past. It is a tense that concisely creates order without using time clause expressions like then or afterward. Okay, so although it is a perfect tense because it uses the auxiliary, it has no relationship at all with the present perfect tense. So, the best feature of past perfect, which sometimes referred to as pluperfect, interesting word, it has super easy to use for any writer. So, okay, the past perfect simple structure. Because it uses the auxiliary had for both singular and plural subjects, the tense is easy to construct. For all uses, you use had plus the past participle of the main verb. Then we would say, I had worked, she had waited, we had driven, you had tried. Then, for negative sentences, okay, we use the auxiliary verb. I hadn't tried, they hadn't invited, it hadn't succeeded. Okay, he hadn't driven. For the question form, you invert the auxiliary verb and the subject. So, had they forgotten? Had you lost? Had he stopped? Or has it rained? Okay, so how do we use past perfect tense? Okay, right. The past perfect is the part of a sentence that says something happened before another action. The second action mostly uses the past simple. Okay, so, however, the order of the sentence doesn't change the order of events. So we have oldest action left, newest action. So underneath oldest action is past perfect, underneath newest action is the past simple. Then we have the newest section and the oldest action. Underneath the newest action we have past simple. Underneath oldest action is past perfect. How are we doing there? Yep, okay. Okay, so you can use the past simple before and after the past perfect. Should we have a look at some examples? Yeah? Okay, so after I had written my story, I gave it to my editor. I gave my story to my editor after I had written it. So, as you can see, in both sentences, it is clear that the subject wrote the story and then gave it to the editor. So, when you want to indicate a specific time between events, you can add a time clause. It can be a short time or a long time. They had arrived only a few minutes before we did. She had been out of work for 2 years before she found a new job. Okay, so let's have a quick look then at past perfect continuous. So we use the continuous form to express an ongoing action before a latter action. The structure of this is had been plus the present participle. Okay, looking at some examples now. We had been waiting for 2 hours before the train finally arrived. I had been working there for only 2 months before the company went broke. Her fitness improved because she had been training hard after her injury. Okay, shall we have a look at some traps to avoid now? Okay, the most common error is when there is no clause or finisher to a sentence. So, we had painted the house That's incorrect. The sentence doesn't make sense because we don't have the extra information about why or when. Okay, shall we have a look at the correct verse? Okay, here it is. We had painted the house 2 weeks before we moved in. Correct. So, we need a second clause, but it doesn't need to be explicit, using a simple past phrase. They had left. Incorrect. Okay, they had left a few minutes before us. Correct. Okay, nice. Okay, so the last bit is, okay, just to have a look at extended use quickly. It is possible to remove the second repeated subject and the linking words, including before and after, by using the gerund form. So, even though the gerund is sometimes considered weak in writing, it does have some worthwhile to it. For example, it replaced the first subject. Okay, so we have a look at 2 examples now. Okay, he had waited for 3 hours before his flight finally departed for London. Then we could say, having waited for 3 hours, his flight finally departed from London. After I had started my new job, I felt financially secure. Or we could say, having started my new job, I felt financially secure. Cool. Do you see where it's different? Yeah, do let me know in the comments below what you think. Yeah. Okay, so, if we were to, I'm going to quickly put in now a couple of had sentences now, just quickly before I finish the video for today. So, often we use contraction to lessen the harshness of the phrase. So we have, after I had had 3 serves, I was extremely full. After I'd had 3 serves, I was extremely full. Which one of those sound better? I think it is the second one, after I'd had 3 serves. I was extremely full. So yeah, that's an interesting way of looking at it. So, okay, so to summarize this, the past perfect tense for obviously students and some teachers is not obviously the most easiest to learn, but we can learn how to use it in writing as well as speech. Basically, we're not going to use it that often, but as I say, for business lingo or jam conversation, it is useful to have. If you're doing any article writing, you can use the cause and effect situations, finding a fault in a product, but also don't overuse it, but it gives a bit of variety to your sentence. So, nice. So, if there's anything else you can think of, do let me know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to like the channel and don't forget to subscribe. I appreciate everyone who's viewed so far, so keep it up. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I shall see you for the next one.